It was a beautiful morning when I was riding Shanti, my horse, in the mountains of Ecuador in South America. Incredible views, fresh air, wonderful people. And so I moved here 4 months prior to the missionary work. I didn't speak a word Spanish when I arrived, and I didn't know anybody, but I really wanted to help and do something meaningful. Then one Saturday afternoon, I came home from the market. I let Shanti, my horse, in the field. And as I walked in, I put my bags on the table, sat down, and I was suddenly feeling so sick. Like the pain was unbearable. And during the night, the fever, the cramps, like it was getting worse and worse. I've never been in so much pain. Like ever since, I haven't had that much pain as that night. And I was seriously wondering, like, how long will it take for my family to find my body if I die in this remote area? Just imagine being really sick in a strange country, all alone, thousands of miles away from your family, your friends, lost, lonely, afraid, and you barely speak the language. You don't know the system, where to go, who to call. Now, fortunately, the next day, the sister of my landlord happened to come by and she took me to the hospital. Turned out I had a severe salmonella infection and that without antibiotics, I could have died. I went to a private clinic. They gave me antibiotics for 3 days via an IV. It was really horrendous. If you ever had anything like that, I would not recommend it. And for months after, I was so weak, I wasn't able to function, let alone work. The antibiotics really, as they say, antis against life out of me. At the time, I didn't have a system, I didn't have a team. So you can imagine how my business and income were suffering, and I pretty much used up all my savings. So, when my fiance proposed, I believed, I was sure it was the answer to my prayer. So I packed up my life, flew to the US. He lived in San Diego, California, very excited with the preparations for the wedding until one day, a few weeks later, we had lunch at a Mexican restaurant, beautiful, Californian day. We're sitting outside, and out of the blue, Jonathan looked at me and said, Shemaya, the wedding is off. I'm like, wait, what? 2 weeks before the wedding, Jonathan broke up with me. I'd given up my residency in Ecuador, my horse, my dream to be with him in California. And the month leading up to the wedding, he'd convinced me that I didn't have to work because he'd take care of me. And then he dumped me, cold, cruel. You can imagine, I was devastated, broke, homeless, living out of my suitcase. It was terrible. I was heartbroken and so angry. You see, I couldn't stay in the US and I couldn't go back to Ecuador. And that's when I met Mayor Ezra, who became my mentor and a very good friend. I was at such a low point in my life. How could he even help me? I had gone to many seminars, spent a small fortune on courses and coaches like from Tony Robbins, Harv Eker, you name it, I've been there. And this man, this mentor, he was so wealthy, successful, and I was living out of a suitcase at a time. But I had no choice. I knew he had results I could see from other people, and I knew I should at least try to learn and apply what he suggested. I wasn't excited really, but maybe there was a little spark of hope left. Maybe something could be done. And what happened next was shocking. I applied the business rules that he taught me, especially the marketing love languages, and used it to develop my LinkedIn system. It was such that we've maxed out Zoom's maximum upgraded plan a few times. People wanted to join, but just couldn't get on. As you can see, we had we have over 39,000 people registered for this event. And this has not only changed my life, but my clients, their families, and their new clients as well. It really has improved significantly profitability. And so you're a founder, small business owner, or maybe you're in charge of the marketing of your company. Life can be challenging. There were several family situations that have taken my focus away from business. But because I have an automated webinar system, leads continue to come in, which allowed me to grow my business while working less hours. That's what happened to me, and that's what you can create. That's why I want to welcome you to LinkedIn Leads Mastery, the proven system to 2 to 5x your sales growth. So whether you want to scale your company, You want to get out of debt, you want to help more clients, maybe you love to travel more or just have more fun with your children. Make more money and live the life you always know you could create. There's a few things you need. You need the system, you need the knowledge, and you need a coach, somebody who truly cares for your results, because reality is nobody succeeds alone. You joined today hoping to find something that you could help you. And I'm aware there's a lot of other things you could have done. And here you are. It says a lot about you. Your willingness to learn, you're willing to do something to make things better, to improve your life. And I want to congratulate you for that. And thank you for being here. Very well done for showing up. My name is Shamaya. I am a LinkedIn strategist, business coach, and author of the book Happiness is a Verb. Now, I'm going to tell you this webinar will be different. In case you didn't notice, I'm going fast. I cannot talk fast. If I go too fast, just let me know. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't interact. You should. Doesn't mean you shouldn't ask questions. You should. You're not going to get this in the first 10, 20 minutes. You won't. But here is the difference. The clever people will recognize the gems. Those who won't will start to criticize. So if that's you, instead of complaining, I would recommend look for ways that you can implement. Like, what are the principles that I'll be sharing here with you that you can make changes in your own marketing strategy for LinkedIn, but the principles work on any platform. And if you still don't get it, that's okay too. If you're not happy, not the problem. The truth is, you only find what you're looking for. It's okay. Yes, clever people recognize the gem. Forgot the slide. Those who don't get it, criticize. The truth is, you only find what you're looking for. It's impossible to succeed if you can't persist. It's not like a quick fix. You're going to be here now for the next 30, 45 minutes and everything's going to change. There are steps. I'm going to share with you really valuable nuggets, but obviously you need to implement them. Because how many successful people do you know who quit and gave up before they achieved their target? Nothing valuable comes easy in life. But if you stay, you actually participate, you take action on what you get here today, or maybe even take the next step with us, the next step with the next hour could be your first step on a path that you've been looking for a long time. Really quick, few agreements. Number one, you have to participate. This is not Netflix. I'd love for your input. The chat is here, so if you watch me looking at the side, I already see some people sharing where they're from and what they're doing. That's great. Pay attention, playful out, because the people, the professionals, the people playing, like whether it's Wimbledon or the World Cup soccer or Olympics, the players get paid. The people watching, they're paying to be there. I know how valuable it can be. There's people that just came to the seminar and actually made several $1,000s by applying just what they got out of today's training. Number two, if you don't understand, please ask. As I mentioned, I can talk a bit fast. If it's too fast, just let me know. If there's a word you don't understand, please let me know. Number three, the working event. So the purpose is not here for you to start promoting. If you need help with promotion, just work with us. Let me show you, apply what you learn here, but don't come here to promote and distract other people, please. Okay. Really quick, do we have an agreement? Either by show of hand. I see Robert, Li Hong, Duncan. Yes, thank you. Great to see you. Brian. Yep, Duncan. Fernando, Marta, I see. John, I think we have people. Okay, thank you, Send. Kevin. Or you can just use the chat. Bernard, good to see you. Thank you very much, Kevin. I appreciate that. Okay, good. Amazing. Now, do you agree that companies who know how to market make a lot of money? We would say just, if you're on camera, it's great because we can kind of engage. Yeah, that's true. Agree. They are very well known and we really love them. And so we continue to buy from them, whether it's companies like Nike, Disney, Apple, we all know them. Like these are the big players. Now, what if your clients would feel the same about you? How many of you feel that if only more people would know about you, you could easily double your sales? Yes, Sand. Hope you pronounce your names. Robert, definitely Kevin, Don. Yeah, most people. And so that's what marketing is about. You need an ever-growing number of people to know about you and fall in love with your company. The purpose of marketing, and this is really important to understand, just this section alone, and then we're going to apply to LinkedIn, but the same applies anywhere. The purpose of marketing is to create want, establish a relationship, and sell something, to creating future income. So you want to make sure that there's a want for what you need, and that we have to apply in your profile, whether you're doing a webinar, in any of your posts, creating the want, establishing the relationship, and then selling something. Now let's discover how to use LinkedIn, and then specifically the LinkedIn lead system that I've developed moves companies like yours from the shadows to the spotlight. Bypassing gatekeepers and filling the sales calendar with qualified leads, eager to learn more about your solution. Who agrees that that would be really great? Amazing. Robert's with us. Anybody else? Yeah. Okay, great. Kelly, Kevin. Great. Who will benefit today? Now, the biggest pains companies face around lead generation and sales usually fall into a few categories. And I just want you to have a look and say, okay, which one do you relate to? Is it that you have inconsistent lead flow? So some months are very good, but you have these peaks and valleys in your pipeline, especially companies that rely on referrals or word of mouth. It's very vulnerable because 1 month is great, other months almost next to nothing. Poor quality leads. So you have leads coming in, but they can't really afford your services. They're the decision maker. So you don't really get in, wasting a lot of time and money. Acquisition costs. In other words, you're paying for ads, you're doing outbound campaigns. It's getting more expensive, but it's actually not really bringing the results you would like. Or maybe you do have coming in, but you lack a nurturing and conversion process to actually convert more leads. Or you have difficulty standing out. We have to do a quick poll and see, just to get an idea where you are. 1 and 2, Kevin. Thank you. Okay, got it. And you can just give a short, quick answer in the poll. Just and you can even in the poll, what do you feel is your company's biggest problem? You can refer to any of these numbers. 1 and 2. 1, okay, inconsistent lead flow. Poor quality. I can definitely see that. Definitely, you can also use the chat. If you do it in the poll, it would be helpful as well. 1 and 2, 4 and 5. Okay, conversion process difficulty standing out. 1, 2 and 5, 1 and 6. Okay, Mona, you need to let me know what number 6 is because I was not aware of that one. Oh, okay, Fernando, I can see that's a challenge. Oh, 5. Okay, thank you. 1, 2 and 4. You can see that the majority of the people definitely have a challenge with the consistency of the lead flow. And that is what we're going to go cover in today's training. Why you should stay till the end and you can continue adding your answers. Today's online training is like a crash. I'll show you, where's my mouse? Yes, the costly mistake that made companies' lead generation fail, the hidden LinkedIn lead generation system that generates quality leads and consistently, the proven formula to scale your LinkedIn lead generation to expand. At the end, we'll have Q&A if we have some time over, so you get the opportunity to ask questions. In between, you can ask questions. I may not always able to get to them right away. Why companies struggle? Let me know again if you can relate. You have a profile, but it's not compelling. It's not really generating new business. You have 3,000 or more connections, but you have no idea how to monetize them. Or the biggest one that I've seen is you lack a system to generate quality leads, nurture and convert them. And as a result, you end up being the best kept secret. You see competitors thrive while you know you have so much more to offer. And you tell yourself, okay, I need to do something about it. Now, LinkedIn has a lot of members worldwide. The question is, how do they find you? To generate more sales consistently, you need an effective lead generation system, and that's what we're going to into, using a very powerful, like little known feature that LinkedIn offers. LinkedIn is growing. It's really been transitioning more from just a platform for finding a job for growing sales and new business opportunities. Now let's find how much gold is hidden in your LinkedIn network right now. This is just kind of to give you an idea what's possible. And I've seen this happen. Suppose you have 5,000 connections and you have a network that's related to what you're currently doing. That means that on average, there are about 250 to 750 people in your network who could buy from you and would buy from you with more education and engagement. Now, statistically, there's 50 to 150 of your first degree connections that are looking for an answer to the problem that you solve. Now, let's say take 50 people, the lowest amount, and you can close 10% of them. If you have a program on a service that's $10,000, that could mean there's like $50,000 in potential gold sitting in your network of people that would buy from you if only they would understand what it is. Now, how do we find the gold out of this network? What is the little known hidden LinkedIn feature that's worth gold? It's the LinkedIn events with my event webinar system. Now, the LinkedIn events, it's a tool that LinkedIn allows where you can market events. It can be a live event if you work local. It can be online like we hear today. And using that to get in front of people and for people to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested in what you have to offer. I mean, that's why you ended up here today. You're interested in finding out how can I generate leads with LinkedIn. Companies with successful lead generation, they create the systems, they design the strategy, the processes, and then they continue to grow and expand. This is why this circle here, because we keep optimizing and improving. The first step that you need to get in place is your marketing, an effective emotional button that gets people's attention. People make decisions based on emotion. And then we have all the reasons, the logical reasons why it's a good idea. But people just, they feel that's what they want to do. You need a strong marketing message once they capture their attention and an irresistible offer. What is it that people can experience from you that will show you get them the results that they're looking for? The next step in that event webinar system is the targeting. Want to make sure, especially as LinkedIn is so broad, that you're very clear on who you want to target and who is it that you're helping, because it's a different language, it's different problems that you solve, even though you can help both. And I have clients that say, hey, but I can use, I can work with big companies or I can work with small companies. That's all true. But for your LinkedIn profile, for the system, you need to just focus on one, target those with laser targeting, optimize your profile so it speaks to their pain, their challenges, and then implement the network growth hacks. Most people underestimate what is required to actually get results. Like 3 or 4 connection requests a day or like 10 a week, it's not gonna cut it. You really need to expand and market on a much, much bigger scale than you've done so far. Next is the event webinar system. So that is where people come, and the good part is people register. So even the people that couldn't make it today, they still show that they're interested in what we have to offer. Now, if they do show up, obviously it's understanding what we have. It's a great way to leverage your network. It's an easy way to find out who are the people in your network, in your current first degree network, that want to find out more. It's a great tool also for authority building. So it positions you as the expert. And as we continue, we do the advanced optimization to increase all the different components of the whole system to increase the conversion. And that's the other thing that's important with marketing. You need to test it, look at the numbers, look at it, and then improve gradually and see, okay, what's working? How can I make it better? And for example, like we can test with different event titles, which one gets the most conversion, which one get the most people to sign up. And once we hear, of course, we want to see, okay, what's the conversion? The purpose is for you to book a LinkedIn strategy call so we can actually dive in deeper and looking, okay, is this system going to work for you? And how can we help you make more money than you would invest with us? That really is what we want to know. We don't accept everybody. There's just companies, and actually there's people here, I can tell you, like, that they said, well, no, I would like to work with you. And I just don't, if I'm not confident that we can make you more money than you spend with us, we will not take you on. You can do a program on LinkedIn profile optimization, but for the event system, we wouldn't. You want a system to nurture the leads. And of course, you want to optimize the AI to get the best results most efficiently. So that's the system. And from there, if you have that, we go back to the marketing foundation and keep tweaking and say, okay, maybe the offer is not great. How can we improve it? And how can we like spiral the results up over time? How is it designed? The marketing foundation, that's where it starts. In this case, you can see protecting law firms, a strong message, what do you offer, the pain, the targeting, either using Sales Navigator. There's some other tools you can use. And here you can see how we're using the growth hacks system so that more and more messages follow-up is going out in a much more efficient way so that you can be consistent with your marketing. Event webinar system, setting up your LinkedIn event and making sure that it's all integrated. So when people sign up, they get the confirmation, they get the whole follow-up, and you really continue staying in communication with the leads. And then the sales conversion, it's a little bit small to see, but here you can see, this is from one of the clients, he booked 21 appointments from his event. So for that week, just for that week. Now, the 3 big mistakes that are costing you money, and this is something that you can start with right away. As I mentioned, there's people that have attended, they started implementing, and it actually made them money. Just make an investment, like a return on the time you're spending with us today. Marketing foundation costing mistake number 1 to avoid is that, I went a little bit too fast. Here is a profile that you often United Country Real Estate Prestige Auction. You know, you would think that she sells real estate. Now, well, she can do that. It's actually not what she does. She generates more revenue for realtors, helps realtors increase their revenue and market share with auction marketing. Very specific. And as you can see from the original profile, not really clear. So after this call, I invite you to go back to your own LinkedIn profile and have a look. Do people actually understand what you offer? Or does it just have your... Most people like their company name, but prospects don't really care because they don't know, it doesn't mean anything to them yet. And so that's vital in your marketing. You need to be visible, but in a way that gets attention. You need to have the right messaging so that if they do land on your profile, they understand how you can help. And if you do it right, it will make a difference. Like Erica, she worked with me, we rewrote her profile, and it became very clear why you should talk to her. So after optimizing her profile, she booked her first 5 sales meetings within a week. And after that, she had been active, like engaging, sending connection requests, but actually never converted any of those engagement into sales calls. So that is really what you want to do, where you want to start with. Make sure you obviously have a nice photo of you, have a professional background, and here explain clearly in the headline what it is that you do. How can you help? How do you make a difference? Here is another example. Now, you've seen probably these profiles. It just doesn't come across very professional. Business technology advisor, I mean, it's great. But you can't, you know, it doesn't tell people what you do or how you help. And here you can see protecting law firms. So he decided that he's targeting to focus on law firms. Obviously, data breaches are huge if it's for a law firm. I mean, that could be the end of their firm. So you can see here, keeping your law firm and clients safe from data breaches, hackers, and viruses. And then he also offers IT support and cybersecurity solutions. So very specific. Just a quick question in between. How many of you feel like this, looking at this, like, okay, yes, my profile can use some improvement? So it explains better how you help. What is the pain that you... Yes. And how many would say, yes, it's been on my to-do list for a while, but actually I don't really know where to start? Or I don't really know, how do I do it? Yeah, Dr. Phil, I do understand. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so I came up with an idea when I was preparing because I realized that life is tough and people get busy. I mean, I know what it's like when you're running your business or you have a family, all the other things going on. It's hard to struggle with new things on your own and already feeling overwhelmed with everything you have on your plate. So I was just curious if I would offer a masterclass to show you the formula to optimize your LinkedIn profile and really help you understand, okay, what are the components of a profile? How can you actually make money with LinkedIn? How do you get more people to book calls with you? How many of you would be interested and say, yeah, would like to know, I would like to know more? Yes, Dr. Kobe is asking if we can respond in the chat. I do like that idea. That would help. Yes, I'd love to. Okay, good. Just to get an idea. This was interested. Okay, cool. Usually the masterclass, I did one in the fall. I charged $297, which is easy to make back in sales if you actually participate and apply. If you don't have a product or a service that can make you $297 back, then LinkedIn is not the right platform for you. Like really, it's a B2B is the best opportunity. Or if you do B2C, but then really higher end. Okay, cool. Um, So that's what we looked into I don't know how I got back here. Okay, good. Yes. And this is valuable, obviously, for conversion in sales, but even to understand that I did the research on it. Over half of B2B buyers have used LinkedIn to support the purchase process during the past year. So 56% of general people and 63% of C-level and VP executives. So if you want to do business, people will find out like, who are you? And I have somebody, he's like in a business contact. He does a lot with corporate training and corporate, yeah. And he says a lot of companies, they don't even go to your website anymore. They can't see it because of the firewall, but they will check you out on LinkedIn. So having a solid profile definitely is really, really valuable. Now we talked about targeting. Now one of the tools you can use is Sales Navigator, and you can be really specific in who do you want to target. It can be in geography, so a location. In this case, it was Colorado, attorney, lawyer, and then depending on the number of experience or the number of employees that the company has, you can determine who is the right person for you to target. I have one client, it's actually really amazing. They help with tax savings. So clients they work with, they can actually offer better wellness like medical insurance for their clients with less copay, like offer more and pay less because they get the tax, they help them with the tax deduction. Now we looked into it. If he works with companies with less than 50 employees, it's a very different problem, very different language you would use than a company that has over 1,000 employees. You know, different contact person, like just different situation. So you need to make sure as you work on your profile that you know, you keep in mind who are you talking with. A CFO has a very different agenda, different situation than if it's a small business owner and really he knows, you know, he has 40, 50 people and he really cares for them. It's very different. So your targeting, you need to be clear on that. Another great tool to use is Apollo.io, where you can choose for job titles, number of employees. And again, as you do this, keep in mind that depending on how big they are, they have different pain points. Then here are some of the tools that we use for network growth hacks, the LinkedIn campaigns that we run. For request, you should be able, LinkedIn allows you to send about 100 connection requests a week. But in all honesty, how many people have time to send 100 connection requests manually, then follow up if somebody accepted it? It's incredibly time consuming. With the tools we use, you can send up to 250 a week. If you have Sales Navigator and your profile is strong, you've warmed it up, plus another 800 in-mail messages. So much more quantity of promote communication out. The more messages you're sending out, obviously, the more results. Here you can see 182 messages a day. Even with the VA, it would cost your virtual assistant. It would be very time consuming to do this. Now you have to do it right though, because if you send messages, you can see here, this is from LinkedIn itself. It was for shorter emails gets better response rate, but the same is true for regular LinkedIn messages. So don't send people a whole essay. You can see here 0 to 400 characters have a 22% higher response rate. The longer your message, as you can see here, over 1,200 characters, it's less than minus 11%. So the response rate goes down significantly. Now, what we do, we set up the system where we invite people for the event, or we actually find out, are they interested in the topic that we offer, but in a very personable way, very short and to the point. Uh, And here, as you see what Adrian did, we aligned his new profile with his event, Cybersecurity Shield Your Company Against Cyber Threats in 24. So that was a topic earlier in the year, in January, that he did his event on. So you can see the event webinar system, everything's coming together. And the cool part is also, as I mentioned in the marketing, is that you can test. If you have the system in place, you can see what works better. Should I send a blank connection request or should I send a message? Usually it's true that the blank connection request has a higher conversion rate, but it all depends on your industry, who you're targeting, on the message that you write. So there's a lot of variables involved. So you need to test and then improve based on the results. Here's another survey that shows that B2B buyers really like the advanced LinkedIn event webinar system. Obviously, I made that of it, but basically what they're saying, they do like the webinars. Whether it's the early stage, 57%, 47% in the middle stage, or even in the final stage, 37%, it still is a really great tool to use for people to get a feel and a taste about who you are, what you offer. Here is an example of Gal Ezra. He's the CEO of Guaranteed Prosperity. He generated 781 new leads with his first LinkedIn event. And then from those, from those, he closed 43 new clients. So usually people either book a call or, you can make an offer if you have a really good offer. How many of you would say, wow, that would be quite amazing to have these number of leads? 40 new clients sounds good. Yes, I agree, Scott. That would be great. Now, I'm sure that you realize, though, that to get these results, you must apply what I'm teaching today. Agree? I mean, it's good to be here, but just watching it is not going to make the difference for you, unfortunately. It would have been really nice. And it's not easy because life is busy. I'm sure you already have a full schedule for the week. So to carve out time here is really great. And you need to take the next step. So I don't want you that this hour is going to be, what you don't want is that this hour is wasted that we've spent together here. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets. So I want to ask you something. Do you agree that you do much better, or most people generally, but I know it's true for me, do much better if you have somebody working with you? If you have somebody to talk to, even if you know you have a personal trainer. Yes, Kevin says, yes, I agree. Whether it's in business or just in life, just having a friend or somebody that's there to guide you through, answer your questions, usually make a difference. Even like any Olympic athlete, who do you know that doesn't have a team? To hit the top of your game, your business game, you need to build a team. So that's why I'd like to invite you to join the special LinkedIn Gold Masterclass today. As I mentioned, I did this away, so I did one last fall for an investment was $297 but my mission is to help you improve, which is why I assigned this masterclass to show you the formula to make your profile magnetic. I love working with fast action takers. And so if you are committed to get results, instead of paying the $297, you can join now for just $7. And this is it's 90 minutes where we actually get to work. You'll get the tools to get it done. And I personally give you a 200% money back guarantee. It does require you to show up. It requires you to be there from the beginning till the end, participate. And if it wasn't worth it, I will give you your $7 back, plus I pay you $7 for wasting your time. I know it's that valuable. Now, for the people of you that say, no, really, I need a little more guidance, I want to fast track, get real-time feedback during the live masterclass. I'll give you a unique power session. So on top of the masterclass, we have another small session, like a mastermind group. And you get the recording, plus as a special bonus, I will include the ChatGPT prompts that I designed for my paying high-end clients. to make it really simple and quick for you. So the VIP you can join for only $47. The masterclass is $7. Because I would like you to do something. As I told you, LinkedIn for me is more than just a platform. It changed my life. And for me, it's really the greatest joy in helping others. One of my clients, he was about to go out of business a year ago before he met me. He just really wasn't sure. His source of leads had dried up and he just didn't know what to do. He joined my program, and again, he was very reluctant. He was very hesitant because people make promises. In about 5 months, he doubled his income and he's on track in double it again. Like his company is thriving, he's now expanding and scaling. Because once you have the system, you can, you own it. You don't have to pay ads, you don't have to grow. Now, that's not this. This is just the first step, just to clarify, in helping you make sure that your LinkedIn profile is strong. That's the foundation. From there, we built out your whole LinkedIn lead generation machine. Thank you, Johan. Costly mistake number 2, the quality of your post and messages. What's more important, would you say, the quality or the quantity of your LinkedIn post and messages? So let's take a quick poll, but you can just type it in the chat. Well, one needs to be more. It cannot be both more. Quantity, Dr. Kobus. Quality, okay. Very good. Smart, Dr. Kobus. Quality, most people quantity. Amazing. Both, we need to choose one. Depends on the industry and yeah, quality, quantity. Well, the consistency plays a role, but that was not option quality. It's really interesting, and I know that I've been with you for a long time. It took me a while to really get it, that quality, it's the mistake that most people make, because it's not the quality, it's the quantity of your, the quality that determines your income. So if you feel it's important for you, the quality, yes, of course. I mean, you don't want to spam people, obviously. But the difference is what is good quality post or message? Good quality, really, the quality is determined by the results. It's the content that makes leads engage with you, not something that looks beautiful from your viewpoint. So the more promotion you do, the more marketing, the more message out, you will see what's the result, what's working better. If you send 10 connection requests, even if you have 30% response, it's really not going to make a big of a difference. Well, if you send 250, which is 1,000 a month, you better be able to see what's working, and the quantity of new leads coming in will be much better. So just this in itself, if you start increasing the quantity out, the messaging, your emails, posting consistently every day, it will make a big difference. That's funny. You need to kiss many frogs before one of them turns into a prince. The quality of the kiss doesn't matter. Oh, that is really funny. I actually can relate to that. I kissed a lot of ugly frogs before I met my prince. So here you see some of the results. The more you post, you can see what's working. This one has 18,000 impressions. I thought it was an amazing post. Well, this one had 275,000 impressions. So more than 10 times more the results. And obviously, the more people engage, the more LinkedIn will share your content with more people. You need to learn the behind the scenes formula and break the code of LinkedIn's algorithm to get these kind of results. But the bottom line is quantity is more important than quality. Content works best combined with an outreach strategy where you land in their inbox, so in their LinkedIn message inbox. You want to find out who is just browsing and who's looking for your solution. And that's why LinkedIn events combined with my event webinar system are so very powerful. It's people signing up, letting you know, hey, I'm interested in what you have to offer. How else would you know? Somebody can like and post and scroll through your post, but you wouldn't really know until they actually raise their hand by signing up. It's the most effective tool to turn your LinkedIn connections into sales conversations and generate leads. Here are examples of successful posts that got a lot of impressions, a lot of shares. And you can see this is from one of my clients, Okada Shabe, and he uses the content to then drive people to his event. So he's not just posting and having you can obviously do it also with what they call a lead magnet. The benefit of the event is that it's very easy for people to join, very easy to register, and it positions you as the expert at the same time. Now, this is for NHS Care, which is in the UK, a system, and then on the CQC rating, which is specifically for care homes and things like that. So very small niche industry, and yet 80 people attending. I'm interested in the AI, and then he specifically sells an app. Mistake number 3, it's a roller coaster. You're active on LinkedIn, but then you get busy and you're not doing anything for a while. Then you start to think maybe LinkedIn isn't the place for me. But what's the problem? You lack a LinkedIn marketing system. That really makes all the difference. There's a great quote from Edward Deming's: 94% of failure is the result of the system, not the people. If you would have the system in place, it would really make a big difference. He was instrumental, by the way. He's an economist, helped rebuild the economy in Japan after the Second World War. And because the reality is the future of your company depends on leads. Without no leads, no sales, no sales, no income, and there's no company that can survive without sales. So if you want to generate more leads, close more sales, what is the system that you're missing? LinkedIn events could be a great system to help you grow your revenue. That's what it did for Nurik Adil Khanov, like huge game changer. He went from 1 appointment every 2 weeks to 5 to 20 sales calls booked per week.
I started working with Shemaya. We really had maybe like 1 appointment every 2 weeks. And then, we were desperate and I tried to sell as much as possible that appointment. And if you lose it, then you're always constantly looking for leads, not certain about what to do. Don't have really a budget to grow. I have to rely on sometimes luck. But then once I joined Shemaya's first webinar, it was like 200 people attending. And that's when it was closed. And I bought her program. So, and then ever since, we've been hosting webinars, and right now, we actually, our company grew by 30%. We got 3 more team members, and, we have a whole strategy. Like, I take care of marketing with these webinars, and we book about 5 to 20 appointments a week now.
And that's how and this was just after a few months after he started. You can see here 21 appointments booked on his calendar. He's growing the team.
I started.
Yes. And this is like the system. I just want to, so you have the picture in mind with the case study. We started with the marketing foundation, effective emotional button, the marketing message, an irresistible offer. And then the targeting, optimize the profile, network growth hacks, setting up the event webinar system. So basically that's the whole system that we help you build out. From setting up your event, that's the foundation, then filling your event, and then also making sure that afterwards people get the system with the follow-up. Building authority, advanced optimization, and then the sales calls booked, lead nurturing system, and the AI automation. And Kara, maybe you can add the link here also. If you would like to build your own, but you don't really like the LinkedIn profile masterclass is not for you, that's totally okay. You can definitely click the link and book a LinkedIn strategy call either with Sasonka or with me as well. So here you can see how did we apply it as the case study. We optimize his profile. We hire, onboard, and train elite virtual assistants. So very clear what only virtual assistant headhunter you need. Now, in this case, this was the targeting with Apollo.io. He specifically targeted business development consultants, coaches, consultants, because those often have a small team. He did select for more employees, but usually it's still a small team and they just can really benefit from remote workers. That's why he set up the event, how to reclaim freedom, time, and profits with remote assistance in 2025 for $5 per hour. That's the system that he set up and the events that he's doing. And he's been testing. Again, marketing is often better off testing. He's been testing with different titles, different topics to see what gets the best results. And here is also one of the results recently that he shared. Just did a webinar, 200 attendees and $2,100 made right off the bat with 17 of them is a monthly subscription of $397 per month. Now, monthly subscription, let's say people stay for a year times, or let's say 10 months, just for easy calculation, that's 17,000, at least 17,000 in revenue from one event. So the system works. You need to be willing to do the work and build the sales machine. Here you can see when he just started, he was making $2,500 per month net profit, where now he's making over 18,000 per month. And this was already a few months ago. From 2 to 4 sales calls per month to 60 plus sales calls per month. The company size, he had 2 people. It was him and his assistant. Situation was very stressed because all his sales come from referrals and cold outreach. Now he has 9 people. He even attracted a business partner who invested in his company, just using the LinkedIn webinar system. And that is the system that I would highly recommend you build, especially now as LinkedIn is expanding. People are looking for solutions. And so if you can offer that to them, it's good. They need to know about it. So those are the different components of building the system out. Now, if you want us to help you build a profitable LinkedIn event webinar system for your company, there's 2 options. We have LinkedIn Event Mastery, the full training with support, the step-by-step success formula, access to the amazing community, office hours. So once a week, we have a strategy call. Once a week, we have implementation support on the tech, optimization guidance. The investment starts from $5,000 for the program. And Kara will add the link in the chat if you want to book a call to see if you're a good fit. As I mentioned, we don't accept everybody. It really needs to be a good fit. I will not take on clients if I don't see that you at least can make double this back with the system on LinkedIn. Because for some company, your clients are not active on LinkedIn, or they're just not, you don't have a program, or just your business model is not a good fit for LinkedIn. Then I would just let you know honestly. If you want a webinar event system designed and built for you, this especially is great for busy and have a complete lead gen system in place. We can definitely help you from your LinkedIn profile, event strategy, design, setup, and more. We'll set it all up with you, execute it, and implement it for you. Your investment starts from 12,500, and we do guarantee that we will help you to make your investment back. Obviously, it's a teamwork, so we have to continue working. I had this one client. It was really amazing because it took him a few months, and he had this webinar title and his webinar, and he was just not converting. So I recommended and said, okay, let's make a change. But he really liked it and he wanted to stick with it. Eventually he did. And suddenly he started making many more sales, more leads, were converting much better. So we work together. That's why, remember the circle? We continue to optimize the system together. Does it work? Well, let's have a look at what he did for Matthew McKinley.
I sent out, I think 1,000 connections. Actually register, and we got 1 sale out of it. Since I'm selling a very high ticket 5-figure B2B system, it's between $10,000 and $12,000. Just getting that 1 client from the process was really like a big win. And I also have about 99 other people to follow up with that now know about the product.
And again, these are some of the examples I want to share with you before we go into the Q&A about what is possible and how powerful it is. And some people have a lot, like Norik has hundreds of people. It's not necessary. I have another client, they have a branding agency. They just have a handful of people. Even here, if you look at Angela.
We generally, from every LinkedIn event, will get about 4 to 5 leads. People who want to right on the spot say, I want to chat, or they call me right after and say, I'd like to speak. And we at least walk out with 2 or 3 clients.
And so in this case, her client is selling VA packages between $2,500 and $11,000 per month. So the value of a client is about 30,000 per year a month. So just 2 new clients is $60,000 in addition
We
to
gen-
sales. So the question is, if you want to go from LA to New York, you can take the horse and buggy. It's not the most comfortable. It's going to take you quite a while and you may arrive a little stinky. Or you could join me in my private jet. It's going to be much faster, much more comfortable, and I'm sure much more fun. So the question is, do you prefer the fast track? Or are you just going to continue what you've been doing, figuring it out all by yourself? You have to decide. You can get started now, join today, work together to start planting seeds so you can begin harvesting next month and every month after. Or you continue keep spinning your wheels, trying to figure everything out on your own, wasting time and taking much longer to see results. And usually that costs you much more than just learning from the beginning how to do it. I would love to invite you to join the special LinkedIn Gold Masterclass today. Investment, not $297 if you join now, because I love working with fast action takers. If you're committed to get results. So don't just join and say, it's $7. No. If you're not going to do anything, please, I don't want your money. I really want you to get the value and do something with what we shared here today. So you actually have something actionable and results. I personally give you 200% money back guarantee when you actually show up, participate, apply the results. If you feel like, okay, no, it wasn't valuable, I didn't get anything out of it, I will pay you back your money plus give you another $7 for wasting your time. If you are smart, you do the join the VIP, you'll get real feedback. So we actually will work, it's a live interactive masterclass, but I'll be working with you on your profile, feedback, your input. We have another power session, basically another live in a small setting group where, after you've worked on it, you can come back and continue other sections of your profile. You get access to the recording, plus as a special bonus, I will include the ChatGPT prompts that I've designed for my paying high-end clients to make it simple and quick for you. And today only the VIP is $47 additionally. And if you want to meet and say, okay, we actually want to build out the whole system, not just the profile, obviously we'd be happy to do that as well. Last example to share with you.
As a result, we had about 50 calls booked within about 2 months, and one of which became a very massive potential strategic partner that we're in early talks on, and it's going very, very well, which would roll us out to probably a good percentage of the largest property management company in the United States, which has been a huge deal for us.
It does open doors, new opportunities, even beyond sales. And the question you have to ask, if not this, then what? If not me, then who? If not now, then when? I did fail to mention, thank you, Scott, you are amazing. The next masterclass is going to be on September 22. It's about the same time, so 1 o'clock Eastern till 2:30. 90-minute masterclass. If you can't make that one, just let us know and you can attend the one in the future. Or if you join the VIP, you still have access to the recording, and then you can come to the small group, like the mastermind setting for that. Thank you very much for joining us today.